Armagh 118, Kerry 116. What an incredible win, an incredible story for Armagh football. Their first All Ireland football final that they have reached in 21 years. A 2 point win, 118 to 116 is how it finishes. This is the match reaction. We're going to be breaking down the game, discussing the game live, and obviously interacting with some of you lads, obviously in the comment section as well. A little bit of a delayed match reaction. I was at a wedding yesterday, so I did see bits of the game, seen about the final 20 minutes, half an hour, and obviously since watched the game back in full this morning. Yeah, like watching the full 20 minutes, obviously it was a little bit crazy. Like as soon as Armagh got that goal and started making a comeback, I was like, I have to see this. I have to see it unfolding. And yeah, what an incredible win! What a story! Like first of all, congratulations to any Armagh fans who are out there, and obviously players and everything else. Like it's an incredible win. Not many teams beat Kerry in the championship. They're a very, very good team, very, very hard team to beat. They certainly probably were the favourites going into this game, probably the favourites for the All Ireland, especially with Dublin going out. But yeah, absolutely incredible stuff from an Armagh perspective. Like I suppose, like a lot has been said about Armagh and tight games. Can they come through these type of matches? Can they find a way to come through these type of games? And they stood up like champions. Really, they showed the heart of champions. Really, to come back. Like they were trailing for the majority, like 4 points down at different stages in the first half. Obviously, when Sean O'Shea gets that free, puts that point over the bar. Obviously, just before the Barry McCambridge goal, Kerry were four up as well, and it just felt like one of them games where it was passing Armagh by a little bit. It looked like Kerry were very comfortable. It was probably very reminiscent of when Kerry played Derry as well, where they were just comfortable, just about doing enough. They weren't putting the game to bed. You felt like Armagh were still always there, but you did feel like Kerry were very, very comfortable. And then that Barry McCambridge goal goes in, and I suppose with the vast majority of the fans being from Armagh, I think that's what really got them through, and they really stood up like towards the end. Rian O'Neill, obviously, absolutely outstanding. 3 points from him, like that catch right at the end was nothing short of remarkable. And obviously Barry McCambridge himself getting the goal, like what an addition he has been to this Armagh team. Like absolutely incredible stuff. Like I suppose to have the tenacity really to just handball the ball into the back of the net in the way that he did with such precision as well was absolutely incredible. Conor Turbo was obviously outstanding as well, 5 points from him. But I think for Armagh, like I suppose in the first half they were a little bit cautious, sort of playing that game. They were running at Kerry. They were certainly trying to get at them on the counter attack, but it just felt like Kerry were just always a step ahead. And every time Armagh would get a point or try and come back into the game, Kerry would come back themselves and would assert their dominance even further. But when that goal went in, with the crowd and everything else being majority of Armagh fans, it got a little bit chaotic. It got a little bit crazy. And I think for Kerry, this Kerry team in general, I think when things do get a little bit, out of the ordinary, they do struggle a little bit with that. It was probably very reminiscent of the All Ireland final with Dublin last year when Dublin, when Paddy Small gets that goal. It was sort of similar where Kerry were in control of that game for the majority, really, and then Dublin get a goal, then all of a sudden the game just completely turns. And I thought it was very, very similar in this game as well. And to be fair to Armagh, they probably should have nearly won it in normal time. Then they complete the comeback, they turn it around. Rian O'Neill with an outstanding point to make it 114 to 113, and from there you're really thinking that Armagh are going to win it in normal time. They probably had a few opportunities and chances to do so before. I think it was a Paddy Clifford who scored the late point. But fair play. Like I suppose with it going to extra time and everything else, I think a lot of Armagh fans would have been watching with a lot of nerves, saying, "Please, please don't go to another penalty shootout." I don't think any Armagh fans could deal with that. But yeah, they get the job done. They get over the line. Brilliant, obviously, in extra time as well. And the thing is, as well, towards the end of the game and even in extra time, Armagh took the game to Kerry. They started going after them. They started taking more risks, more chances, moving the ball quicker. And I think with this Armagh team, and we've obviously been saying it for years, is that when they let the shackles off, when they go after teams, they're a very, very good side. Like they have some of the best forwards in the country, as we said before, in Rian O'Neill, in Conor Turbo. Stephen Campbell's obviously very, very good as well. Rory Grugan as an example. So they've some tremendous footballers, but they probably a little bit in big matches, in Ulster finals, all or quarterfinals in the past. They probably have overplayed it. They probably have overthought it at different stages. But in this game, I think they said to hell with that, and they just went for it. 4 or 5 points down in the second half. I suppose about to lose an All Ireland semi final, and they just said hell with that and absolutely went for it. And it was brilliant, brilliant to see. In fairness, from an Armagh perspective, and look, obviously as a Dublin fan, I'm not going to lie, happy to see Kerry get back, but there's no doubt Kerry will be back. But I think at the same time, from a Kerry perspective, like when they obviously won the All Ireland 2 years ago, there was a big discussion, there was a big chat in the sense of, are Kerry going to win multiple All Irelands? Is this going to be a golden era? Is this going to be a golden team? And it probably hasn't really transpired. Look, they have some phenomenal footballers. There's no doubt about that. And Sean O'Shea, David Clifford, Paddy Clifford's obviously very, very good as well. But they probably, I think at times this year they haven't. They look like a team that don't know how to put games to bed at different stages. I think it was a little bit like that last year against Dublin in the final, even against Derry as well. And this year at times throughout Munster, like against Cork and Clare, they weren't overly brilliant, I don't think. Against Derry, I thought Derry could have came back into that game if they had a bit more about themselves. And in this game as well, like you feel like if someone could put it up to Kerry and really get after them and go after them, will they have the resolve to hold on? And in the end, they didn't. But look, there's no doubt about it. Kerry will still be thereabouts next year. Absolutely no doubt about that. But from an Armagh perspective, the day obviously does belong to them in fairness. And going into the final now, like obviously Donegal Galway on a little bit later on, it's completely wide open from here. Like to think Armagh obviously first All Ireland final in 21 years. Haven't won an All Ireland obviously in 21 years as well. Galway obviously haven't won it since 2001. Donegal obviously haven't won it since 2012. So someone somewhere is going to end a long, long drought for an All Ireland. And it does have striking similarities really of the 2010 All Ireland Football Championship, where all the big dogs went out and it was completely wide open. So there we go. We have a few comments to run through here. Dylan says, "Gutted. I was hoping to go to my first All Ireland final. I finally got the season ticket. Armagh were the better team, but I am gutted." Yeah, look, it was absolutely would be very disappointed in that scenario. But it's just been that kind of championship, and I do think there was probably a time maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago where Dublin, Kerry, probably Mayo as well were a good bit ahead of the chasing pack. The likes of your Armaghs, your Galway, Donegal at the time. Tyrone obviously up until they won the All Ireland in 21 and obviously got to a final in 18, but you always felt like those sides were always a cut above the chasing pack. Whereas now it's completely wide open, really. Like you've got Galway beating Dublin, you've got Armagh beating Kerry, Donegal Galway could go completely either way. I think the final you couldn't really call it either. So it's completely wide open. And look, as a Dublin fan, obviously you want to see Dublin do as well as possible every year, but as a neutral, it's brilliant to see because it's completely wide open. You don't know which way it's going to go, and it's what makes it more entertaining. In terms of man of the match, I would have to go for Rian O'Neill. Like that catch at the end of the game as well. Like I mean, you're seeing the floated ball in, obviously both goals really coming from long balls being floated into the square. And you were thinking, this is it right here. But Rian O'Neill makes the catch, obviously turns the other way towards the goal, manages to somehow offload the ball to the goalkeeper, and then they get rid of it. Like to be fair, like Rian O'Neill's obviously come under criticism this year. A few people asking, debating whether he should even start the game, whether he should play, whether he shouldn't. And he stood up massively. And that's what All Ireland winners do. That's what champions do. And to be fair, he showed massive heart there to do that and obviously win his team the game. So yeah, that'll be the match reaction. Congratulations to Armagh, 2-point win in the end. They get over the line, a massive win from an Armagh perspective. And as I said before, you couldn't call the All Ireland from here. Like Armagh will feel like they have a great chance, but I'm sure Donegal or Galway will think the same as well. And And yeah, like considering that crazy game between Armagh and Galway, obviously a couple of years ago, and obviously they've kind of built their own little rivalry, Armagh Galway, in recent years. Like that would be a cracking final. Obviously, Armagh Donegal, repeat of the Division Two final and everything else, and repeat of the Ulster final. Like that would be an absolute cracker of a game as well. Make no doubts about that. But yeah, congratulations to any Armagh fans. Commiserations to any Kerry fans. I'm sure you lads will be back. Mikey says here, hope Galway win to avoid an all Ulster final at the same time. I'm sick of the Armagh Galway games. Not sure who I want to win. Sam. Yeah, like as a neutral, I'd probably like to see Armagh do it. To be fair, just because the crowd, the fans, like, and they're such a hugely passionate county. You saw the celebrations at the end. Like from looking at the game and from looking in the stands, it definitely probably looked about 80-90% Armagh. And it probably would be something similar in the final as well. So, like I think I'd like to see Armagh do it, but look, at the same time, no dog in the race. If Galway were to do it, fair play to them. If Donegal were to do it as well, fair play to them. And what a story that would obviously be for Jim McGuinness and everything else. But yeah, look, we will wrap this up here. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll be back tomorrow at some stage to discuss the Donegal Galway game and everything else. And of course, we will be discussing the Tailteann Cup final a little bit later on as well. So yeah, cheers anyone who tuned in, and we'll speak to you all again.